Hello and welcome to the Cottey College Music Department All Music Virtual Meeting for this August Fall 21 semester. There are some important bits of information we want to make sure that we share with you. One of the first ones is about our music department handbook. It includes some important information about department policies, performances, etc. It's available on our music department webpage, and it's also available on the main page of each one of your music classes in My Cottey. If for some reason you can't find it, please send an email to music@cottey.edu. To highlight a few things, the building access in Rogers Fine Arts, 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. with your key card. Occasionally there have been some sound issues with isolation usually with the second floor practice rooms. So if someone comes and knocks on the door and asks you to move, don't be super surprised, just be polite and then move to a practice room on the third floor. We do have accompanists that are available for you. We do ask that you provide music to your accompanist 2 weeks at least before your first rehearsal, and your first rehearsal must happen 2 weeks before your performance. Therefore, your accompanist must have your music in hand 4 weeks before the student recitals. Please bear that in mind, or your rep class or jury recital or any other performance that you have. We do still have some COVID-19 safety measures going on. So masks must be worn at all times except for vocalists and wind players who are practicing alone. Masks will be provided for vocalists and wind players. See either Professor Spencer or myself, Dr. Lordo. So individual practice has no time limits. However, if there is a rehearsal with 2 or more people, and by 2 or more, I'm not counting sitting with your suite mate or your roommate in a practice room. I'm considering 2 people from what we would call different households. So if there's a vocalist or a wind player involved, then your rehearsal time is limited to 60 minutes in RFAB in the same room or 45 minutes in the Center for the Arts. In both of these situations, the rooms must sit empty for 15 minutes, and then that just gives time for the air to exchange. So please do not play or practice 15 minutes before a scheduled class. And by the end of the first week of class, or the beginning of the second week of class, we should have posted schedules on the doors of all of the music classrooms so that you know when there is a class in that room. So part 2 of this, please wash your hands, use general good hygiene, only 1 person in a practice room at all times. Please don't have exceptions to that. Do not prop open the door to the practice rooms. For vocalists and wind players, after you practice, we ask that you put your mask back on and wait 5 minutes with the door closed before leaving. That just gives a little bit more time for some air exchange within that room. And then there are signs hanging either on the door or right next to the door for each of the practice rooms and classrooms. So if you have used a room, please mark the date and the time that you finished practicing before you leave. Pianos, there's a spray available in the hallways, one on the second floor and one on the third floor. Please use those sprays only. Do not use the one that's provided in the classrooms, as it might damage the pianos. Spray the rag, not the piano, and wipe the keys. Percussion instruments. If you are not enrolled in a percussion course, do not touch the percussion instruments. That should be pretty standard. And similar sorts of things about washing of hands, wearing a mask, limiting sharing. We will provide a small set of sticks and mallets. Please do not share them. When in doubt, ask Professor Johnson. Now, some general health and safety for instrumentalists. You should evaluate your technique often. You should always warm up. You should take breaks to stretch and relax. Pace yourself. Check out and clean your instruments. For those of you that have brass instruments, those are much easier to clean on your own without sending them to a repair place. For those of you with woodwind instruments, talk with Dr. Ross and figure out exactly how you may clean them. Evaluate other activities. Did I sleep in a horrible position? And so now the reason I have pain in my shoulder and my back is really that I slept in a horrible position. Or did I fall down the stairs? Just as an example, things that, unfortunately do happen to us with real people. But these last three bullets, I really want to emphasize. Pay attention to your body. You know your body, hopefully which pains and aches are normal and which ones are not. Speak with your teacher because there might be some way that we can adjust your technique to make it better. And the most important thing is please make sure you get medical attention. We, the music faculty, will always do our best to help you with technique, and we'll send you to go see a doctor if we have any concerns. However, we are not medical professionals and we cannot give out medical advice. Okay. So for vocalists, maintain good general health and hydration, drink lots of water, avoid the dry artificial climates that you find indoors, limit the use of your throat, avoid that throat clearing and the voice coughing, those sorts of sounds. Try not to yell, all of those other things. You can also adjust the speaking pitch level of your voice. Some of us tend to speak very low in our vocal range, and that is quite harsh on your voice. So if you adjust the speaking pitch level even just a little bit higher, you can avoid some of those bits of damage. Speak in phrases rather than in long paragraphs. The same sorts of things that you would consider. That last little bit, you're a vocal athlete. All of those things that any athlete would consider to prepare and to protect their body, you're going to do the same thing with your voice. And again, speak with your teacher, talk to Professor Spencer about any concerns, and get medical attention. Please do not hesitate for those sorts of things. For everyone, protect your hearing, please. This includes large concerts, practicing at loud dynamics in small rooms. Headphones are the biggest issue, especially for people who live in dorms that use headphones relatively often. Headphones at high levels can do significant damage, and once you have lost your hearing, you cannot get it back. Take care of your physical and mental health. Seek medical attention for any concerns. We have doctors and counselors on staff available through the Office of Student Health. They are there for you. They are there to help. So please take advantage of that. You have already paid for it, so you may as well take advantage. Thank you. Be safe and have a wonderful semester.